The tragedy of Michael A. Hoffman, straight guy sacrificed to gay media. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and just today I watched a video of viral nude sensation Michael A. Hoffman, where he was explaining how his life has basically been ruined due to homoerotic solo porn videos that he made the mistake of selling to various web hosts about 4 years ago. If you've never heard of him, here's a picture. Yowza. Once he got fully naked and flexed his ass muscles, jerked off, and even ate his own jizz on camera, he blew the fuck up all over the gay blogs and basically broke the gay internet. And let's be real, are you surprised? He has a handsome enough face to model, almost like a hotter Jonas brother that maybe doesn't exist. He's ripped but not crazily bulky, all the while maintaining that cute boy next door look. He's objectively over a 9.5 in terms of what the average guy wants in gay land. So once the nudes leaked, he was on every gay guy's laptop, myself included. Now granted, this happens all the time. Heterosexual bodybuilders and athletes constantly sell nudes and even jerk-off porn and occasionally full-blown sex scenes to gay publications. Hell, if you go to a gay nightclub with go-go dancers, chances are at least one of the guys on the pole is straight. But when Michael Hoffman started getting money to do these videos and made a good dozen or two of them, it didn't take long for him to become a full-blown internet celebrity in the same league on the gay circuit as Chris Crocker of Leave Britney Alone fame. Then, after a few months, I remember watching a clip that put things into perspective for me. Michael Hoffman ended up uploading a video somewhere about how his life was forever changed because he'd walk around the city he lived in and he'd hear people snickering and saying, "That's the dude who eats his cum on camera," and other such things. Also, he explained that numerous people had ripped him off or gone back on their word when they either promised to pay him or promised that they wouldn't use the footage for anything besides a paid site. People would just straight up con the guy. But more so, what was weird was that the person that I knew who posted one of those videos about his strife on their timeline on Facebook was doing it as a way to poke fun and demean Michael. I can't remember what they said exactly, but it was something to the effect of, "Aw, poor beautiful white straight boy. What did you think was gonna happen?" I looked at the comments in regard to his personal turmoil, and I noticed the same exact tune repeatedly. It was all completely merciless criticism and downright spitefulness, which is weird because didn't these vicious gay guys only know who he was because they had jerked off while fantasizing about him? I mentioned that I felt bad for him, and people just asked, why? As time went on, Michael Hoffman got more and more tattoos, until the point where he was almost entirely covered. I can't help but wonder if it has something to do with wanting to change his appearance so less people recognized him. Finally, he made this video on Twitter in July of 2017.
My decision 4 years ago to start making videos has really fucked me up. I lose girl after girl, can't land a relationship, can't get a job, can't go anywhere, can't do anything. Every single person I meet finds out or knows about it, gets creeped out, doesn't want to fucking be friends with me. I just lost a fucking girl tonight because she found out and she was really creeped out about it. And I can't get a job. My fucking life sucks. I regret everything I ever did. Everything. So fuck my life. Fuck my life. On the real.
He sounds pretty sincere about all of it to me, and I have to wonder if anybody cares and if they are starting to finally think about how horrible of a thing all of this really is for a young man in his position. Granted, maybe he has a drug problem and an anxiety disorder to go along with all of this that makes him generally unpleasant to be around. But let's assume that that isn't the case, just for the sake of argument. A lot of people still probably wouldn't feel sorry for him, because if he happened to be dazzlingly funny and intelligent, he could have maybe ended up with an actual acting career or something and used his internet fame to his advantage if he was going to be able to ignore the haters in this hypothetical situation. I'm sure some people are thinking that he should have been grateful for the publicity. However, what would you do if millions and millions of people had seen you masturbate on camera and people were making jokes about it in public? What would you do if you were really hard up for money and happened to be propositioned for a generous sum and all you had to do was make videos by yourself? And then all of this happened. Again, all he did was something that really does happen all the time. I've known countless people who've done porn after living in the San Francisco Bay Area for over 7 years. It's really not that big of a deal, and he certainly didn't hurt anybody. It really seems like his only crime is that he was particularly hot, and then gay media just had their way with him in an extremely opportunistic and exploitive way that could quite fairly be equated to some sort of social internet abuse of a largely sexual nature. And not only did nobody care, but people callously laughed at his torment when he was on the floor squirming in pain. This brings up a lot of questions for me. What would have happened if the same type of thing happened to a young woman? If somebody had stiffed a female on a solo cam gig and it leaked to millions of people, all she would have had to do would be to cry on camera, and we could assume people would have at least had sympathy. Also, why are gay men so fucking cruel, especially to other men? Trust me, when I was young, I was pretty conventionally attractive, though my weight fluctuated. And one of the weird things I always noticed was that guys tended to be way nicer to me when I was heavier, as if they resented good-looking guys, both because they are competition and desirable. But even further, I think this story illustrates perfectly the profound lack of empathy for heterosexual males that homosexual men have in their hearts. I mean, what if this were you? Can you imagine? We've all done stupid shit that we regret. How hard is it to have some compassion? For myself, it's truly been within the past 2 years, really, only, or so, that I started to begin to realize how much pressure is put on straight men by other straight people, how much I callously demonized them my entire life without really knowing why, and just how inhumane the gay male community is when it decides somebody is the other. Ultimately, though I don't like to use this term in most cases, I have to say that what happened to Michael A. Hoffman was one of the most objectifying things to happen in internet history, and I really hope that gay guys start to think about this a bit. And hey, I hope you subscribe and check out my other videos, because I imagine this video will attract a few new people to my channel. And stay tuned once you do.